it was a very nice process. But like his business was now very much at the point where just like he had that stability. He was kind of growing like a little bit every month. He was pretty much completely removed from the operations. Like there was a salesperson in place. There were a kind of consistent number of clients coming in. The team was very stable. They just very low like employee turnover. Like it was almost every month when the numbers came in, it was just margin stable, growth stable, profit stable. And then it's like, as a buyer, that is like a much less risky business to buy. So if you're going for that exit, you want to just have something that's mature. You do want to focus on getting yourself completely removed from things. So that's where you might sacrifice a little bit of the profits and maybe even a bit of the growth, because like a closer might have a slightly lower close rate than you. A marketing team might be slightly less effective than you. But like if you are still the business, even in like if it's like only one small part of it, that will just really hurt your valuation and make it harder to sell. So if you're going for that exit, then you should really make this like, okay, like can someone just step in, take this over, and it just works? Or like if you're fully pushing ads and then like you step away, the ads break, the whole business crumbles, it's not a very sellable asset. So much more focus on just like, cool, getting good people in place to just run this machine. And then the high growth is indeed more just like, okay, we're just going to take the extra money we have and we're just going to keep pushing. Whether that's indeed hiring more aggressively, and we know that we kind of like overhire just so that we have that capacity and we don't have to slow down. It can be really like putting a lot more money into acquisition. It can be like, trying to get multiple channels to work. That might even be the solution. Or if you have a channel like ads where you actually can control the output, it might just be like over-investing in there, accepting that your returns are going to go down, but as long as it's still like profitable, you can just accept a lower conversion rate. But yeah, it's like much more just like keep pushing, stretch the team, like hire aggressively, bring people in, constantly tweaking things. And like, we have some clients who have like, we had one who early this year like doubled in 1 month and like became like, went from 70K to 150K in pretty much 1 month. But then you are faced with the growing pains. So it is a stressful existence, but if you really want to push, that is the way to do it.
What is the rationale behind the kind of focus on revenue growth? And is it, or in your view, should it just be for a short-term period and then you focus on kind of mopping up the back end and kind of lifting the profits back up and then maybe going again?
Again, it's indeed, I personally am not too like I don't run my business in the way of like the blitz-scaling mentality. Someone who is like, wants to go really far and super fast, they can go through that for a longer period of time as long as the business doesn't crumble. What I have seen with the clients we had who went through very high growth periods, it was almost more a forced stop to the growth, where they're like, if you're adding that many clients, it is just very, very hard to hire at a high enough pace. Like one client, they just had to put a stop to, like, they just had to put clients on the wait list, and they just couldn't onboard new clients because like they just couldn't hire fast enough. Another one who went, like he had a much higher churn rate after the growth period, and then all of a sudden, this is again where finance is so important, because if you just like, you keep just like, no, I'm just going to keep growing. Doesn't matter that my clients, like, of course we're going to leave some, I'm just going to keep growing. All of a sudden, you're going to find yourself out of money, because especially if you like, if there's a cost to bring these clients in, if now all of a sudden they're not returning you, like if the lifetime value of these clients is not like in balance anymore to the cost, you can go broke. Like that's when you go bust. So that is where it's like, okay, like as long as the fundamental numbers work, you can keep going, but it is very hard if you go that fast for a very long period.